Flyperbole, flip, flyperbole. Flyperbole, flip, flyperbole. Flyperbole, flip, flyperbole.
Hey, we are back. Flyperbole here on another lovely Friday evening podcast. And hope all you party people are doing wonderful out there as we hit the dog days of summer. Hockey nowhere to be found. But we're going to be here talking hockey, some weirdness, and going to keep it tight this week. But that's okay because, well, plenty more long pods coming your way. Before you know it, Ryan Quigley, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful, Stove. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've had a busy week. Did 3 PHLYs in the past week. So
it's a lot of
been a good time.
PHLYs.
It is. And Bill Matz was on vacation, so I filled in for Bill. So go check those out. But of course, if you want the real meat, you come here to Flyperbole.
Where this is the prime rib.
This is the prime rib. Like you're getting like a salad with that. Okay,
PHLY,
salad for Steve.
PHLY is like the hot dog. This is the prime rib.
Oh, there you go.
That is very mean sounding.
I feel like I almost feel like it's the opposite. Like
probably.
I feel like it's the opposite because we're way worse for you, but we're more fun. And hot dogs are fun food. Not that it's not fun. I had a blast over there earlier. I was talking with Charlie, but like there's something like very appealing about a hot dog. Who doesn't love a hot dog? Come on.
I love feeling like shit after having a hot dog.
Hell yeah. And you always feel like shit after an episode of Flyperbole.
Obviously.
That's the promo image, and that's the perfect time to talk about our new sponsor. No, I'm going to give them some buffer room before I bring them up. But before we get into everything, there is a hockey-related thing that we're going to talk about, but it's very loosely hockey-related. One of our compatriots on Broad Street Hockey posted a link to a video in the Slack channel just a little bit ago, and it did involve a hockey thing. It was the Seattle Kraken, but the Seattle Kraken and their very, very inferior mascot. What's the mascot's name again?
Buoy,
who's fine. Certainly not a Grittisons out there.
It's a weird, not a big fan, but
no, Buoy's not great. But they were doing some sort of fishing video with Buoy, and then all of a sudden, a real bear showed up. Not a Boston Bruin, not the Bruins mascot, a real brown bear.
Showed up. Yeah. And so I'm particularly interested in this video because
this hits like your entire Venn diagram right here.
Yes. Like animals, hockey,
mascot,
nature, like all that, like all of it. So basically what I found particularly striking about this video is a lot of people, as some may know, black bears can be brown as well. You can tell the difference.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So some black bears can be brown.
I did not know that.
You can tell because they're smaller than like a brown bear. And they are, you can tell by like the shape of their head that they're a black bear. This was a fucking like brown bear. Like you can tell because brown bears, like, grizzlies and coastal brown bears, they have a distinct hump on their back.
The hump is the distinctive thing for the true brown bear?
Yes. So a true brown bear has a hump on its back. It looks like big shoulder blades coming out, kind of. And that was it wasn't even like, don't get me wrong, it was a huge bear, but there are bears much bigger than that, which is fucking crazy because that was a big boy. That was a big bear. So
we've all seen Fat Bear Season. We know how big those big boys can get. But the thing is, even like a smaller bear is huge and is like, if a bear wants to kill you,
you're done.
Pretty fucked.
You're done. Like even a black bear, like black bears are mainly afraid of us, but like if they are just feeling like killing you, they fucking will. They totally will.
Yeah. So they're fishing, right? And they're like, we got to get out of here. And he's like, what's going on? He's like, there's a bear over there. Yeah. And at first the bear's just like taking a drink, but he notices them. But then the bear notices Buoy. And then he's like, what's this? Hey, what's this? It's like if Brucey over here sees something, because dogs see blue and yellow primarily. So like if he sees like something blue or yellow, he tends to be more interested in it. Like weird phenomenon with that was when we had the Frenchie, Frankie, there was a Lakers game on TV one time and he was transfixed by it because of all the yellow and everything.
Yeah.
But, but Bears, I guess there was something about the mascot costume that he was like, the fuck is this? I got to go check this out. And he starts doing the bear run with the shoulder
He charged at them. He did a bluff
charged
charge.
at 'em.
He did a bluff charge. He literally was running at them, and then he was just like JK and like kind of veered off. But like that, like I posted this on Twitter because it wasn't on Blue Sky, that video. But like that, I don't think they realize just how fucking close and how lucky they are,
dude.
to be dead. Like, dude. Bears, especially brown bears, dude, they are so fucking territorial. And like, I couldn't tell if it was a male or if it was a female, but like, if it was a female and she had cubs, dude.
And she thought that Buoy was a threat.
Dude, yeah. And like that fucking costume, that Buoy mascot costume, it was probably like, what are you? And like,
what are you?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. So like terrifying. But we're all acknowledging Gritty would have fucked that bear up.
Oh, yeah. Gritty has weapons.
I truly believe that Gritty would give a bear a good fight if it came down to it, because I've seen Gritty. We've said this before. Gritty is one of the greatest athletes in the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, in the world.
The way that Gritty, that axe throwing video,
that was crazy.
Gritty's just going to whip axes out and be like,
yeah, it's going to be like, you know how in Grand Theft Auto, if you want a rocket launcher, you just like select rocket launcher and you just like pull it out of your pocket or something. I feel like Gritty can actually do that. He'll just be like, fuck, I need like a flamethrower, and he'll just pull one out. And it's just like,
I agree.
Die bear. Like I could totally see Gritty doing exactly that. So yeah,
Gritty's got a pocket dimension that he's just pulling weapons from.
Yeah. Bear versus Gritty. Gritty wins every time.
Every time.
Bear versus Buoy. Buoy wins 0 of the times. So.
Is there any other NHL mascot that you think could take on a bear besides Gritty?
Besides Gritty.
I could also open up the sports, but the only one I would give a chance is the Fanatic. And to be honest, the Fanatic is the GOAT, but the Fanatic is a pretty kind soul. I mean, it could be vicious as far as like taunting like Tommy Lasorda and Mets fans and such, but I've never seen the Fanatic throw an axe. Like Gritty, I actually feel like there is an element of danger to Gritty that there is not with other mascots.
If Gritty's wielding an axe and he tossed it at the bear's in half. Like it goes through the bear and he becomes 2 pieces.
Right. It's like a Final Fantasy, like special attack.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Another mascot. Yeah, I was gonna say the Fanatic. Honestly, like I think we talked about this before, but we've definitely talked about this before. But that fucking BYU mascot who did that crazy shit, he like
I forgot about that.
He did this crazy thing where he like did push-ups with. It's hard to explain, but the BYU mascot is like low key.
Oh, it's like a jacked like panther.
Yeah, and the guy inside the mascot costume he did one of the craziest things I've ever seen a human being do. And then also, I'll go on record and say I think Benny the Bull would do okay. Benny the Bull's pretty chaotic.
Yeah, I think Benny the Bull could definitely pull something out. We know who's not doing great against it, and it's our friend Harvey the Hound. Craig's favorite. Craig's favorite was always Harvey the Hound, and Harvey the Hound is getting that tie shredded up. I mean, it's a pretty shabby costume to start with. I mean, Craig McTavish made short work of Harvey the Hound, so a bear is just doing devastating work.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, let's see. I want to see who are some of the other like more popular mascots in sports that you can think of. You know who would do horrible?
Mr. Met.
Mr. Met would get fucking jacked. He would get destroyed.
Mr. Met, Mrs. Met, Baby Met. The whole Met family's just going down.
Steve, how are we so naive? How are we forgetting? Boltman.
Boltman wins. Yeah,
Boltman would destroy a bear.
Boltman, well, because Boltman possesses the power of lightning. Obviously.
Yes, he's basically Poseidon. Or excuse me, Zeus.
Thor.
Zeus.
Or Zeus.
Thor. Whoever the fuck.
Or Thor.
Yeah. I feel like what's the difference between Zeus and Thor? Because I feel like they both do sky shit.
Okay, so they do both do sky shit. Thor is, well, Zeus is number one. Like, he's the head of the Greek gods. Like, he's the head muckety muck of the Greek gods.
So he's like the Squirtle with the like cool sunglasses. Basically.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Whereas like Thor's like second banana. Okay. Like Odin's the tops, right? But Thor's like the sun. He's the prince of Asgard, right? So, and I think this is me talking about out my ass at this point. I knew that much. That was my official knowledge. Zeus, I think, might have more lightning command. Thor is his hammer, Mjolnir. And that's about all I'm going to say there. But yeah, Greek, Norse, top banana, second banana.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's my TED talk on the gods and what I've learned from comic books and God of War.
God of War is all the mythology knowledge that I know, and
that's all you need.
Yeah, no,
that's all you need right there.
Yeah.
Anything you're playing right now, by the way? Are you playing anything at the moment, Ryan?
I just finished for the first time in my life Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh shit! I love Red Dead 2.
Took me forever. I'll be honest. I really enjoyed it. It got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm ready for this game to end now.
It is a long game.
It was really long. I'm like,
I could explore every corner of that world, though. It's a gorgeous world.
And that's the thing. I feel like I need to just spend a day and just run around and hunt and fish. You know what I mean?
Not have like cholera or whatever he gets.
Yeah, like some of the fucking missions, I was like, I don't care about this, man.
But
like,
Dutch has a plan.
Dutch has a plan.
Dutch has a plan. I got a plan.
I don't like you, Dutch.
Dutch, you son of a bitch.
Dutch. But yeah, like I think next up I'm actually gonna play. I think I'm gonna play God of War 2, the Ragnarok.
You haven't played it yet? Oh, that's a great game right there.
I'm excited.
I'm taking a trip back myself. I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain right now. The first Metal Gear Solid, the PlayStation one, not the Metal Gears on the like whatever Famicom or whatever. The first PlayStation Metal Gear Solid might be my favorite game of all time. So Metal Gear is one of the most convoluted storylines possible. It's like insane, but I live for it. I love it. And I played a little bit of 5. I actually had to get a new controller because I had some drift problems. So I have the new controller. I'm locked in and I need to finish this if I can before my next class. So I have like a month. We'll see what happens.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't played Metal Gear Solid.
If you're not into sneaking stuff, then avoid because it's a lot of stealth and sneaking.
Well, I like the stealth.
Then it's one of the great stealth games.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 was one of my favorite games, and
that's a franchise I haven't gotten into. I have to.
The new Assassin's Creed, like, all right, so Assassin's Creed 1 was good. Assassin's Creed 2 was great. Assassin's Creed 3 was like, in my opinion, okay, and then like things just started getting weird after that. So Assassin's Creed Black Flag, though, that's great.
The pirate one, right?
That's the pirate one. Really fucking good. Really, 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 really good. I love that one.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I think let's reconvene in a couple of weeks. We'll talk some more video games. I love some video games.
Oh, yeah.
Big time into it. Before we continue, I did want to say hello to our new sponsor over on the Believe Network. I'm trying to point the proper way. But FanDuel over here, beyond my up on my shoulder over here in the upper left of the screen, is the new sponsor for Believe Podcast right now. So we are very happy to welcome FanDuel over here. Great interface. I do like to bet on sports myself, and I think FanDuel's the best in the business. They are fantastic, and I'm looking right now. So we're going to be mentioning a FanDuel thing every week. So I just wanted to make you know that there's going to be that logo. It is going to be integrated, but I'm not going to talk a ton, but we are going to, get some mentions in because we are happy to have the sponsor. So FanDuel, very excited. I'm looking right now at odds right now. I'm looking for a nice long shot. Okay. Looking at the Rocket Richard winner for 2025-26. And you know who I'm feeling spicy today. So I'm looking at Matvey. I'm looking at Matvey Mishkov's Rocket Richard odds for next season. All right. It's a big time long shot and the odds reflect that. Plus 30,000 is what the odds are for Matvey Mishkov to win the Rocket Richard.
Honestly, that's not a bad, it's really not a horrible bet. Like,
so if I put down if I put down, I'm going to put down $2. $2. You know how much I win if Matvei Mishkov wins the Rocket Richard?
60,000, right?
No, 600.
Oh, wait, what the fuck? I thought I don't know how betting works.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Math is terrible.
Yeah,
And
but-
that's why I let the app do the work for me.
Exactly.
Exactly.
FanDuel
So, you
does
know,
all the calculations for you. It's very
you're right.
good.
I can put the amount in. It tells me how much I'd win. Hooray! I don't have to do the complicated math involved with that. So I'm going to put $2 down for Matvei Mishkov to win the Rocket Richard, and I could potentially win $600 at the end of the season. Big time long shot, but I do think
It's
Matvei
$2.
Mishkov. It's $2.
$2. Who cares? Yeah,
$2.
literally, who cares? No one cares.
And Matvei Mishkov, I have big expectations for dear Matvei heading into year 2. Very excited about that. I was on PHLY earlier today talking with Charlie, and we talked a lot about the past 15 years of Flyers hockey. And we ended the show with the worst things that have happened in the past, like 10
wow.
years, essentially.
Wow.
If you had to say one thing, as far as like, not necessarily the worst thing the franchise has done or has been done, but like the thing that personally to you, I think it made you feel like, I don't know, the crappiest about the Flyers, the thing that like hurt you the most with the Flyers, what would you say it was?
I think you and I are actually gonna agree. I don't know what you said on PHOY, but I feel like you and I are gonna have a very similar response. The offseason that they got Tony DeAngelo and Rasmus Ristolainen, that was the first time where I was like, we're fucked. Like, this is really like this is setting us back several years, like definitely. And I knew that it was going to be tough sledding for some time after they made those moves. And look, they still haven't been to the playoffs since then. So that was and they've made some moves in the past where I was like, I disagree with this. I would not have done this.
Sure.
But nothing where I was like, burn everything down, you know, like I wasn't like scorched earth after those moves. The Ristolainen trade and the Tony DeAngelo trade, that was a trade for Tony DeAngelo. Those both, I was like, this is monumentally bad, and I don't know how long it's going to take for them to recover.
That was definitely up there. That was one of the worst ones. Like I said, that broke me. You know, there's that podcast where you can hear me because then when they mentioned the Delorier deal, I think that was the final straw. I'm like, it's funny now. Oh man, it was so bad. And I think what always made that worse was that Johnny Gaudreau very clearly wanted to sign with the Flyers. Johnny Gaudreau wanted to be here. And look, we knew that it wasn't necessarily the right move for the franchise at the time, but when you have 100+ point player who's so talented, want to come home and give you a huge discount, who also is really good friends with Kevin Hayes, who was on the team, you do it, right? He could have, because Columbus got him for a discount. He could have made like 8-9 mil a season, if not more. And he took, what was it, 6.5, something like that? Like,
I think it was like 7.5 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a great deal. And it was so frustrating because you had an immense talent who wanted to come home. And it just sucked. And then they thought, okay, we're going to bring DeAngelo in, who's a hometown guy, right? You're going to be excited about that. And, you know, say whatever you will about his politics, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing is Tony DeAngelo is a one-dimensional offensive defenseman. And coming on the heels of giving away Shane Gostisbehere, who the complaint with him was he was a one-dimensional offensive defenseman who we loved, and bringing in Ristolainen, just like all of that just was such an insult to us. That was definitely up there. There was a lot of really horrible shit that we brought up, but I think we're pretty aligned on that being like the breaking point. And it was really horrifying to relive the Chuck Fletcher experience in general. Like, I do not miss him. It makes me very grateful for what Danny Briere has done with this team. I feel a spark of life in me. Like, I'm actually excited to skip ahead a couple months and get to hockey season, you know, like, there's like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm excited for Eagle season. I'm excited to see what the Phillies do with their playoff push, but I'm really pumped for this hockey season. I don't have playoff expectations, but I am excited because I want to see what Zegras brings. I want to see what Matvei Mishkov brings in year 2. You know, there is just a lot of really cool stuff going on with this team.
Yeah, it's kind of, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I do kind of have a similar approach to this season as I did with last season. Like this season, like last year, I have zero expectations. My only expectation for the season is be better than last year, which is not hard to do. So that's my only expectation. And I'm going into the season with like, you know what? Let's see Michkov take another step. Let's see, Noah Cates. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if, let's see what Bobby Brink can do in his next season. Like that's what I'm looking forward to. And like, that's fun. Like if we're not going to make the playoffs, fine. I want to see the growth of the young guys. And that's an exciting thing for me to watch and kind of, hold on to throughout the year. I don't care about the playoffs this year. And if they do go to the playoffs, they're not winning the cup. So let's just see the young kids develop.
No, exactly. Good. We have healthy attitudes heading into next season, and I'm very excited about that. Now, I'm trying to think if there was one other thing I wanted to... Oh, so I had one other question based on my conversation earlier. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Would you say, based on between the drafting of Hextall, Briere, and Fletcher, who would you say is the best draft pick that they've made? Because I think we argued that it was Mishkov ultimately, because it was risky. The fact that you got him at 7 was a miracle, but not everybody's going to take that. And to take the leap and to see it at least pay off through 1 year like it has been fantastic. There are other guys you can make a big argument for, but I think Mishkov was who we ended up determining it was.
I mean, I would immediately, my mind went to Mishkov. The only guy who I think would give him a run, and this is between Fletcher, Hextall, and Briere.
Yes.
Only guy who would make me pause is TK. Because
TK was up there for me
too.
He
was because like we know that TK is like a 70-point player, like really, really, really good player. We think that Mishkov is an elite superstar in the making. Like we are very confident of that. But then again, we haven't seen that happen yet. Like we're seeing little bits of that from his rookie year, which is awesome. But we haven't seen it happen in full yet. TK right now, like I guess if we're looking at stats, just if we don't look forward to the future and we're just basing it off of the past, I guess I would say TK if we're having that argument. But yeah. I think in the long run, it's going to be Mishkov, I would say.
TK is a good one for sure. And the other one I always forget about that he mentioned was, I remember he's on the team because I see him all the time now, but Noah Cates, you forget what a value player he was for where they drafted him.
Yeah, Noah Cates is great too, but like, he's not one of those, it's not like he's...
Noah Cates isn't a top line player.
Right, yeah.
At least not on a team that you're expecting to compete.
Was Travis Sanheim a Hextall pick?
He was a Hextall pick, and Charlie had pointed out that there were other guys available after him that were more impactful. So that was, but he's still a good pick.
He's a good player, yeah.
Could have been a great pick, yeah. But so we had some interesting ones. I might try to roll out some more of the questions from that this week because it was stuff that like I was like, oh, I hadn't quite thought about that like that. So yeah. It was a good conversation earlier. But yeah, I really wanted to get your thought on just the misery because I know everybody's had different levels of misery, you know, like stuff we mentioned where it's like the bracelets thrown on the ice, the Rangers fans invading the Wells Fargo Center, just horrible, horrible things. And definitely something to go check out. But yeah, it's been a bad time and hopefully it's only good times to come for the Flyers in the next few years. Now, the topic for today, we wanted to do a summer topic today and kind of, I wanted to roll it back to like a kind of Flyperbole under quarantine topic.
Yeah.
And just have like, you know, something kind of centered and not just ramble, even though I love to ramble and talk about weird shit. But I decided, let's talk today about a Mount Rushmore concept. I think this is a pretty universal concept to a lot of people. It's always good content to talk about. And I specifically wanted to talk about our personal Flyers Mount Rushmore. And I'm not talking who we think the best players in franchise history are, because if you do that, you're always going to have Perrott and Clark It doesn't matter. Perrant and Clark are the cup winners. They are the greats. It has that Perrant and Clark, and you only have room for a couple other guys beyond there. It's not that interesting a conversation to me. What is interesting to me is personal perspective. And Ryan Quigley and I have very different Flyers fandom experiences. I have been watching since the mid-90s. Quigley's a decade younger than me. He's been watching for way less time. So who he likes, who his key players are, is very different than who my key players are. So I'm interested in finding out who Ryan Quigley thinks are the key players to him in his Flyers fandom.
So it's 4 players.
Four players.
Isn't that the Mount Rushmore? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I double checked because I've seen some people try to cheat and have like a 5th on there. And it's like, no, there's only 4 guys on Mount Rushmore. Come on.
So
you got to make some hard choices with this.
Without looking at your list, Bobby Clark must be on there.
He's not on my list.
Really?
Because I'm going by my own personal favorites here.
Oh, so okay. So this is not historically. This is personal favorites that
favorites. Yeah, I want like your Flyers. Like, yeah, because I think historical is too easy.
Yeah,
and it's also too much the same, right? Like everybody's going to have Clark and Perrant is what I was trying to say. Like
and Lindros. Yeah. Okay.
And not necessarily everybody's going to have Lindros, but they should, in my opinion. And spoiler alert, I'll say my list in a minute, but Lindros is of course on there because Eric Lindros is my personal favorite hockey player in general, not just like the Flyers. Like he's my guy. He's my favorite guy. So for me, like, yeah, it's going to be like, I'm going to think more about guys from the turn of the century because it's a lot like people will always say about like their favorite like SNL cast is like, it's always the one when you're in high school, right? Like that's what you find funniest. And it's very similar, I think, when you're looking at sports fandom, like the guys who were popular when you were like younger are your guys. Like those are the guys that you always think of because you'll appreciate guys as an adult. And one of those guys on my list is going to be from when I was older, but you idolize the guys when you're younger.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case,
I'll go into mine and then I'll give you a minute to think about yours. But
okay. Yeah.
So mine, I already mentioned him, but mine starts with Eric Lindros. Eric Lindros is, as I said, my favorite hockey player of all time, maybe my favorite athlete of all time. Yeah, I know he should have kept his freaking head up. I hate his entire relationship with the Clark family, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? When Eric Lindros is at his best, he was a force of nature. He was a guy who fought. He was a guy who could just demolish you with a hit. He had amazing hands. He could score like nobody's business. Eric Lindros, like my 88 is just like such an iconic number because of him. Most of the guys wearing it in the league now wear it because it was his number. He's the guy who made it, much like Lemieux made 66, and obviously Gretzky made 99. Look, Lindros is my guy. So Lindros is number 1 on my Mount Rushmore with a bullet. Number 2 for me is not a huge surprise to people know that I love the Legion of Doom, and it's John LeClair, Johnny Vermont. John LeClair is the guy who made me underestimate how easy it is to score 50 goals in a season because he did it so consistently when I was a kid. He was just such a he's not the prettiest player. He's such a good flyer in that most of his goals were scored either real sloppy out in front of the net, screening the goalie, mucking it up, or a big old slap shot, sometimes through the side of the net, as Lord will tell you. So John LeClair and Eric Lindros are must-haves on there. That's non-negotiables for me right there.
Yeah.
So third up, this is where it starts to get contentious for me. And I had to go with, I thought a lot about this. I had to go with Mike Richards. Mike Richards is, I think, one of my ultimate Flyers should have kept. As much as I love the guys that they got out of that trade, specifically Wayne Simmons and Sean Couturier, for looking at the Carter trade is all part of it. Like, I still think breaking up that team was a huge mistake. I think it's the biggest mistake in Flyers history, if I'm being honest. because I think that team with Bobrovsky could have won a cup, but that's just me. But Mike Richards, you want to talk about a true heart and soul guy on this team, guy who gave his all. The Richards shift against the Montreal Canadiens is still, I think, one of my top Flyers moments all time. Like it's unbelievable. I huge Mike Richards fan. I was devastated when he got traded. I was very happy to see him win a cup. I was not happy it wasn't here, but it was also a real like serves him right moment because I thought those trades were atrocities when they happened.
Yeah.
So Richie's my number 3. Real contention was my number 4. And I ended up going with Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux was a rare bright spot in a horrible dark period of Flyers hockey. Should have won the Hart. I'm still mad on his behalf about that.
Year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 102-point season.
Yeah. Scored 100 plus points, carried the team on his back. The fact that Taylor Hall won on the stinking Devils sucked. Ridiculous. Claude Giroux at his very best was a magician. We all know it. Like everybody listening to this podcast, I would expect very few people have started listening in the past like year or two where they've never really watched Claude Giroux. And if you are, welcome aboard. Go watch some Claude Giroux highlights immediately. I think he's the only guy with like Lindros, like those are the guys that, and now Mishkov, that have truly made some magical stuff happen on the ice with their stick work. And when Claude was at his best, man, he was just awesome. Competitor, a true gamer, but some of the just dirtiest dangles in Flyers history right there. And it's a bummer that the team could not surround him with better talent to help him advance in the playoffs, help him get over the top. So I think I went, Lindros, Leclerc, Richards, Giroux. The runners up were tough because I really thought in that 4th spot, Keith Primo, who had, I think, one of the great captain runs with this team and being so selfless as to downgrade his game to focus on the defense as he did in the early 2000s, specifically in 2003, was just some of the great captain work I've seen on this team. Simone Gagne was up there. I think Simone Gagne might go down as the most underrated player in Flyers history. It's Simone Gagne or it's Jake Voracek, one of those two guys.
Yeah.
But I loved Gagne. Gagne was awesome, especially when he played with Forsberg and Knubel. Gagne ruled. Wayne Simmons was definitely a thought too. I friggin' love the Wayne train. Like I will forever root trading Mike Richards, but man, Wayne Simmons, I loved having Wayne Simmons. He just the truest Flyer. Fought, scored goals, laid dudes out, heart and soul guy, super gritty. I love that he's with the organization now. I complain about all the Flyers in there, but you know what? I'll never complain about having Wayne Simmons.
He should be there. He's the embodiment of what it means to be a Flyer. Like literally, yeah. So
when Elaine Vigneault said be a fucking Flyer, he meant Wayne Simmons.
Wayne Simmons, yeah.
Yeah. So Wayne Simmons almost made it. I also honorable mention some guys I just thought about. Rod Brindamore, Rod the Bod was awesome to watch growing up. Eric Desjardins, another underrated Flyer, just a steady Eddie on defense. Loved Eric Desjardins. Chris Pronger only played with the Flyers for a few years, but was a favorite of mine. Just a real shithead out there. Loved him. Wish he had been a Flyer's entire career. And then, of course, Trent Klatt. Friend of the show, Trent Klatt.
I like that. I like those honorable mentions. I like the list.
Yeah.
So now that I've had some time to think, now keep in mind, I do want to preface this again. I've only been watching the Flyers since the Flyers Penguin series in 2011-12. So my, inventory of people to choose from is not as large as Steve's.
Yeah. But this is why I want to hear your perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's such a different viewpoint than mine in the world.
So for me, and the way I'm judging this is like how they made me feel, like like the attachment I had to them. So number one for me, obviously, is going to be Claude Giroux. Like he was the captain for pretty much, the grand majority of the time that I've been watching the Flyers. And he was their best player the entire time I've watched the Flyers until they traded him away. I just think, he was people question his leadership. I think he was I mean, people always describe him as like a lead by example kind of guy. I'm very okay with that. You don't have to be this raw dude. But I would definitely say Claude Giroux for sure is right there in the center of my Mount Rushmore. Second is Wayne Simmons, because like we just said, the absolute embodiment of a Flyer. I mean, 30 goal seasons left and right, a power play wizard in front of the net. Like, the Flyers' power play has not been the same since he left.
No.
It has not been the same at all.
Because you can't replace those hands. You can't replace that vision. Like, that's the other thing, is Claude Giroux had great vision for the ice. Like, he really knew how to position himself, and he was such an outstanding offensive player. When you paired him up with Couturier and Voracek, that was such an unbelievable line together. Like, that was, I think, one of the few times since the Legion of Doom that, and I'd say maybe the Forsberg, Gagne, Knubel line, that the Flyers have truly like had a dominant line. The other ones I guess to mention would be Giroux, Yager, and Hartnell was amazing. And you could throw the Ville Leno, Hartnell, and Danny Briere line from the 2010 playoffs in there. But when you had those three forces combined there, you had Voracek's passing skills and big body, you had Couturier's just overall sense for the game and positioning, and you had Claude Giroux's everything. Like, it was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. And, I just think that, looking back at Wayne Simmons.
Yeah.
He's one of those interesting players who, you look back at his play in the OHL, because he played for the Owen Sound Attack and the Sioux Greyhounds. His production in junior was not that great. It really wasn't. But then he comes to the NHL and he's very productive. Like, typically it's different. You know what I mean? You would think that a player would be really good in juniors and then be really good in the NHL, or sometimes they, like, even good players in juniors don't pan out in the NHL and they suck. Wayne Simmons is one of those guys who, like, it seems like he became so much more productive in the higher league, which is an interesting thing. I guess he just found the right fit on the right team.
Rose to the occasion.
Yeah. And what I just love about Wayne Simmons is, like, I mean, yes, Claude Giroux was the captain. Wayne Simmons was the rah guy of the room. Like, he was the guy where, like, and he wore the A for a reason, right? Like, if you were on the team with Wayne Simmons and Claude Giroux and you weren't doing your part, Claude Giroux isn't going to get in your, like, I mean, he might get in your face, but Wayne Simmons is going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he was
the accountability guy.
Yeah. He absolutely held everybody accountable. It was just, honestly, like, and I wasn't in those locker rooms, but I feel like the Flyers locker room was just as much Wayne Simmons as it was Claude Giroux's. I really
they were devastated when he got traded.
Yeah.
The fact that his last game, it was that game at the Link, right?
It was the Link,
the outdoor game. Like, the emotions in that moment out there, it was just unreal. And the way the team just was just never the same after he got traded. Like, he got traded for a reason. That team was trash. But, like, that really felt like that's where that era ended. That was the end of that, was that outdoor game when Wayne Simmons got traded, because the core of that team was Giroux, Voracek, Simmons, and Couturier. And getting rid of Simmons, getting rid of the heart and soul of the guy who was the goal scorer too of that group. Like, Giroux didn't really shoot that much. Voracek, the joke is, if he scored a goal, it's because he passed it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Wayne Simmons was the goal scorer on that team. So, that's really where it felt like Claude's time maybe had been wasted here, and it was time to maybe move on. It took them many years to move on, and finally feels like we've turned that corner. But that's how, just what a big presence he was with that team.
Yeah, and also, like, with Wayne, like, he was so, like, the way he fought was awesome. Like, he wasn't a big guy. He was skinny. He was a lanky dude. Beat the shit out of everybody. Like, the biggest, strongest dudes, he would, like, destroy them. It was.
I always think about PK Subban. You do not want to fight Wayne Simmons.
No, he has grown man strength, which is, like, the kind of strength that, like, it doesn't show in muscles. It's just, you're just a grown ass man.
Grown ass man right there. Absolutely. So, that was what I said when Dallas Goedert scored that one touchdown in the playoffs last year. Man. I was like, that's a grown ass man touchdown right there.
Yeah, it is.
Wayne Simmons was a grown ass man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Claude Giroux, Wayne Simmons, Next on my list is this is where you're going to be like, wow, yeah, you really have.
This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here for.
Shane Gostisbehere, Steve.
All right. I've had a lot of Shane Gostisbehere talk today, so I'm into it.
Ghost was that, what was it? 2015-16 season, his breakout year. That was the most fun I've had watching the Flyers. Because think about it. You had Giroux, you had Prime Giroux, you had Simmons still playing well. You had Voracek, you had, then you have Ghost coming into his own. And, he went on that Calder run. And the only reason he lost is because fucking Artemi Panarin, who was like 35 years old when he won the Calder. I say 35. He was like 24 or something. But like, regardless, that was the most fun I've had playing hockey. And it just seemed like every single Flyers game for like 2 or 3 straight months, he was doing something insane. Every game, I was like, oh my God, this guy's unbelievable. And I thought he was going to be the next great Flyer. And then they fucking gave him to the Arizona Coyotes. They paid the Arizona Coyotes to take him. Fucking Chuck Fletcher.
Chuck Fletcher. But yeah, I mean, Gostisbehere, if you're talking Flyers of the past 15 years, he is a monumentally important Flyer over that time period. And I would say he's easily one of the most exciting guys in that period. I mean, what he brought a jolt of energy to the game that is hard to find on defense, and that's one of the things that like, I wish Jamie Drysdale would show right now. Like, I like Drysdale a lot, but Drysdale's supposed to be known for his offense. And like, if I know a guy, Gostisbehere is my gold standard as far as offensive defenseman, because what he brought to the game, what he brought to the power play with that big booming slap shot, the ghost shimmy, as Craig always called it, there was like an element he brought to the game of excitement that the Flyers have not replicated since they traded him. And like, D'Angelo, the guy they brought in to kind of replace that offense in the back end, while he is effective offensively, he was never electrifying. He was never like a fun guy to watch out there. Shane Gostisbehere was fun. He just made the game fun. How great was it when you go on Twitter and you put those ghost bear emojis everywhere? Oh, and everybody loves Shane Gostisbehere because he's a fun hockey player. Because what's more fun than a big boom and slap shot? There's nothing more fun than that.
No, and but the thing is he was just it wasn't even just a slap shot, like that one-timer. It was just the way he saw the ice and distributed the puck, and he was such a good power play quarterback. And listen, his D wasn't amazing. Like, it wasn't like he was some sort of prime Chris Pronger or anything like that. But with him, it was just, like you said, he was so fun to watch. And I've never seen a defenseman move like that on the back end. That was my first time seeing anything like that. And just really disappointing that it didn't go on longer because he was the best. I loved Shane Gostisbehere.
Yeah. I'm glad that his career has continued on and teams have found appreciation for what he does.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we got
Claude
Giroux. We got Wayne Simmons. We got Shane Gostisbehere. And now is when I'm going to go Mike Richards.
Okay.
And so technically he was right before my time, but I've seen enough of him to be like, oh baby. Like if let's pretend the trade to LA never happened. He would have been my favorite player ever. Easy. Because he's also one of those guys who's the absolute embodiment, much like Wayne Simmons, of what it was like to be a Flyer. Did they ever play they never played on the same team?
Which Wayne Simmons? No.
And Mike Richards.
Because they were traded for each other.
Exactly. Imagine if they did somehow, like in some parallel universe, imagine if Wayne Simmons and Mike Richards were on the same team on the Flyers. That would have been an unbelievable locker room. And granted, I know Mike Richards was a party guy. I understand. But like he was just on the ice. He was a perfect Flyer. Wayne Simmons on the ice. He was a perfect Flyer. And like in the room, I feel like neither one of them would have dealt with any bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's just the heart that they both played with. It's contagious. And to have not one, but two of those guys at the same time, everyone would have been like, fuck it. I'm taking a shot to the face tonight. I don't care. Like, it's just it was just, I wish that I had gotten to see him when I was really, really into hockey. I was aware of Mike Richards, but boy, oh boy. It's a shame that it didn't last longer. And I wish I got to see him as captain of the Flyers for longer.
Yeah. He was a really special player. I loved watching him, and he was just a true heart and soul guy. I really think if they had kept that core together, but somehow found a magic way to add Wayne Simmons to the mix, like it could have been something special. But we are where we are. We got to enjoy both guys separately, and that is what it is. So, any other guys that like you considered just now but didn't quite make the cut? Any honorable mentions for you?
And again, this is going to be, me aging myself as like a not old Flyers fan, but TK. I mean, he's one of the longest tenured players on the Flyers. Is he? No. Coots is easily he's the longest tenured athlete in Philly. Period.
He is. Now that Brandon Graham retired, yeah.
Yeah. But TK, I would say, is absolutely up there because he does have that Flyer mentality. He's such a little shithead, and I love it. And he's good. So there's that. You know who else I thought of? I did think of Chris Pronger because he was also such a good captain. And like, my God, was he a perfect Flyer too? The
fact that it took that long for him to be a Flyer is insane to me because that guy was such a badass that it feels like he should have been a Flyer years ago. It just like he got in people's heads. He played mind games with people. I talked about this when I talked about them being like modern bullies, but like, that's what I mean by a modern bully. I mean, Chris Pronger, he'd play head games with people. He'd mess with people.
Yeah.
He'd shove people. It's not about like fighting and literally beating the shit out of people. It's about playing better hockey and getting in their heads. Like it's just how you have to play the modern game. TK's got some elements of that though. Like I like the shit stirrers. I think you like the shit stirrers. I think if you're a Flyers fan, you have to like shit stirrers.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like Pronger just missed a cut because his time in Philly was short. You know who else I really legit thought of? And you want to talk about underrated players in the last 10, 15 years, Steve. And I know I might get some shit for this. Take a guess. Who do you think? Underrated player from the last 15 years.
Oh, Andrew McDonald, obviously.
That is not who I'm thinking of.
Mark Streit.
No. I did enjoy Mark Streit, but no, not Mark Streit. Steve.
Who is it? Yeah, I don't know.
None other than Steve fucking Mason.
Oh!
Steve Mason.
For some reason you said Steve. When you said Steve, I thought you were going to say Downey for a second. I was like, what?
Oh, no.
What a build-up for Steve Downey.
Steve Mason is so fucking underrated by this fan base. He's easily the best goalie they've had since Hextall. Name one better. Carter Hart was not better than him.
We literally had this. This was actually one of the points of conversation today. We talked about the best goaltenders since the year 2000.
Okay.
Since the year 2000. I snuck that in there today. I'm glad I got to sneak a Conan reference into the professional podcast. But we talked about this, and I don't even like Mason that much, but I said Mason was the best they had since 2000.
Yes.
Czechmanik's the guy you can make an argument for, but I think Mason had more longevity at the time. And look, the whole Bobrovsky debate is a whole thing to get into some other time. We've done it many times. There's really no need. For what Mason gave you, Mason's numbers are shockingly good in Flyers history.
Yes.
His win totals are up there. His saves are up there. His save percentage is up there. He did a lot for some very crappy Flyers teams.
He was a bona fide number one goalie for the Flyers. Like he had this like couple year run, like a 2-3 year run where he was just fucking awesome. Like the 2014-15 season for him was amazing. So in 51 games, he had somehow only 18 wins and 18 losses, but his save percentage, 0.928. His GAA 2.25. Like he had 11 overtime losses that year. The fucking Flyers couldn't win an overtime game to save their fucking life for a long time. That's not new. But like Steve Mason, man, the year before that, 2013-14, when they went to the playoffs and they lost to the Rangers in 7. in the first round. That year, 61 games for Steve Mason, 33 wins, 18 losses, 7 losses in overtime, 2.5 GAA, 0.917 save percentage. He was a very, very good goalie, and I don't think people talk nearly enough about it.
Now that I think about it, I feel like the biggest problem with Steve Mason was the fact that he was traded for Sergei Bobrovsky. Like, if it wasn't for that factor, the Bobrovsky of it all, I think people would appreciate Mason a lot more. I think it's the Bobrovsky of it all and that one playoff center ice goal that really...
that center ice goal fucked him real bad. Yeah.
That really ruins people's memories of him. But as an overall experience, Mason actually, like, he has really good numbers, and they're numbers that if you could take somehow Mason from like a decade ago and stick him on the current team where I think the defense is a little bit more solid and you're building up to something, that would be great. Unfortunately, you cannot, the time travel does not exist to do that. But, you know, I do think it's a lot of it is just due to the Bobrovsky of it all, unfortunately.
I think you're right. And I'm a big Steve Mason apologist. It's a shame his career didn't end a little bit more heroically.
It is indeed, but what are you gonna do? But we're a little Mason appreciation right here. Again, I'm not the biggest fan, but I gotta admire that his numbers hold up, and he did a lot for this team, and they really were some crappy teams that he was dealing with.
No, it like Nick Grossman playing in front of him. Jesus Christ, guys.
Pavel Kubina,
Andrew McDonald.
Ugh.
Awful.
Just horrible. Absolutely horrendous. Now, I had another thing that I almost got into today, but I'm going to keep this one a little short. We can save that for next week. So that sounds good to me. Talking maybe about some of the non-flyers that we appreciate, guys who were never flyers, but that could be another topic for another week. If you have any strong thoughts on the old personal Mount Rushmore, again, this is not an all-time team Mount Rushmore. These are guys you've watched and enjoyed. This is not just recognizing the best, because again, anybody can just throw Clarky, Bernie out there. Okay. It's about the other guys. It's about the guys that you grew up with. Okay. Hey, and if you grew up in the 70s and it's Clarky and Bernie, more power to you, old timer. I appreciate you, but that's not us. That's not our fan experience right here.
Agreed. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. My Roomba is annoying me right now.
I'll just turn the, you got to turn that background noise off. So I did that. Don't do that. I don't know why I'm talking like Boomhauer right now, but, that's how I get my air conditioner out of the background noise. Hopefully it's coming out. I think it is. I listen back. It seems pretty good to me, but yeah. So, okay. Final note. Have you watched Happy Gilmore 2 yet?
I have not. I don't know when I will.
Happy Gilmore. So number one, Happy Gilmore, hockey movie or no? What do you vote?
Happy Gilmore. Wait, ask the question one more time.
Is it a hockey movie or not?
Oh no, it's a golf movie.
Okay. It's got a lot of hockey in it though. I mean, it's like,
but it's a golf movie with hockey in it.
Yeah, but it's almost a hockey movie in my heart, because there is the Bruins jersey so prominent, and he wants to be a hockey player, and it's got the cool hockey player putter. Happy Gilmore is like one of my favorite comedies of all time. It's great. I was both happy and mortified when I heard they were making a sequel, and I did watch it, and let me tell you, go in with those expectations real low.
Yeah, I kind of don't even want to see it because
I wouldn't say it's a must see at all. I went in with the expectations super low, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Too many cameos there, Sandman. Adam Sandler, I'm surprised we didn't make a cameo, because I feel like everybody in the world made a cameo in this movie.
It feels like, from what I've heard, it just seems like they just tried to get names, just big name after big name after big name, and that's
because he's friends with everybody as big names, so he just like you could come in the movie.
Yeah,
that's what Sandler does.
Was Rob Schneider in it?
Of course he was in it for 30 seconds. Rob Schneider fucking sucks. What? Did I say that out loud? I got some problems with Rob Schneider. Oh well. But yeah, like, everybody and their mother were in this movie, and I enjoyed it for what it was, but like, you got to go in with those expectations real low. Like the lesser Kelsey was in it. Come on.
Oh, interesting.
Travis.
Okay. Well, don't spoil it all because maybe I will watch it. But
Travis is the lesser Kelsey, of course. Come on, we all know this. It's the way, the truth, the light, right there. But yeah, it's got too many cameos. The end really comes off the rails. But the first like 2/3 of the movie, I laughed more than I thought I was going to. So, I think it's such a hockey relevant movie, but you could also just rewatch the first one over and over because it holds up and it's one of my favorites.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
The OG one's the best.
It's just unbelievable. It's a fantastic movie right there. So, all right. I've gotten Steve's 5 minutes of, I'm not even going to say film, movie talk. I can't call this one a film. You definitely cannot.
That is not a film. That is very
film.
much, it's a motion picture. It's not a film.
A motion picture, exactly. It was a moving picture indeed. But yeah, we're going to head on out of here. But thanks so much for listening, gang. And one more time, thanks to our fantastic new sponsor over at FanDuel. And remember, Matvey Mishkov for the Rocket Richard, okay? Go do it. Put it on like $1 or $2. I mean, I'm not saying to actually do that. But if you want to, I did it. It's incredible odds. Go find, I don't know, another good player to go and do that. But there are a decent amount of hockey bets out there. And that's one of the things that these apps can be lacking sometime are the proper hockey bets. So we're all here for the hockey. We're here to talk hockey, although I could throw you some baseball bones some of these weeks. But thanks again to FanDuel for sponsoring this show. And yeah, if you have any feedback for us, the best place is unfortunately social media. And on the socials, the best place to reach me, at least, is Blue Sky. You can find me at Flyperbole or Esteban. It's also Flyperbole over on TikTok and Instagram. Quigs, where can people find you on the socials?
Wow. You can find me on Blue Sky or Twitter at Ryan Quigs with a Z.
I feel like I need to throw out all the staples real quick. Oh, wow. Wow. We're going to Flavortown, baby. Shut it down. It was almost too normal of a show.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done.
Got it all in 1 minute right there. I'll do a Gordon Ramsay too. Shut it down. All right, good. Gordon Ramsay, by the way, just did a Philly restaurant in like his secret service show.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It was a very Philly restaurant. But yeah, there we go. All right. So Flyperbole. Ryan Quigs with a Z. All right. Follow Broad Street Hockey and all this stuff. If you're on YouTube, let's get those likes up. Let's do some likes. Thanks, guys. We appreciate the likes. And that's it. That's all there is. Until next time, in the words of the great Gene Hart, good night and good hockey. Wow.